What are you doing? Telling God on you. Telling God on me? Okay. I can really get used to that.
Welcome to Behind the Story with Kev on Stage and Fatherhood. I just want to talk about each episode, where it came from, kind of my favorite things in it. First episode is My Kids Speaking Tongues. This episode came from actually Isaiah, his little creative mind. We came home from church. We went to hear Bishop McClendon speak, and Zay literally came into my room and said, "Daddy, what's hashte abota mean?" And me and my wife were like, what are you talking about? And he said, "What does hashte abota mean?" And we ended up explaining tongues to him, and I was immediately like, that has to go in fatherhood, because that's something that happens in our culture. Black people in the church and all that, people who grew up like me, and I'm certain it happens in other people's cultures. Different specifics. So that was that idea, and actually the trust thongs and faith thongs and all that. As a joke, I once put, faith thongs and trust thongs on my website for sale as a joke. Like, I didn't even actually put them for sale. I just took a picture like I was going to sell them. And people were like, I really would buy those. So that me and my wife had the joke, I wrote that joke in, like, people would really buy them. I never intended on really selling them, except the fact that people really wanted to buy them. So that's kind of where that whole story came from. And the rest was, made up.
Daddy, you're fat.
Kids say the darndest things, don't they? The darndest, most hurtful, debilitating, soul-crushing, depression-inducing things. The Man Boobs episode is a old stay-at-home dad episode. We did a version where I used my kids as weights, but since I'm still out of shape, my kids have this joke about when I have my shirt off. They stick their finger in my stomach and say, "Daddy, your belly button is big deep." And Jojo, my son, literally told me that, "Daddy, you are fat. You need to work out." So, that, kind of stuff happens. And it is very motivating to you for your kids to tell you the absolute truth about yourself, and then you just got to do something about it. So that's where this idea came from.
How could you, Father? I loved you.
If you had touched your hands on me, I want you.
I don't whoop my kids is a joke that I do on stage. Jojo really doesn't respond to spankings that well, and Isaiah very rarely does anything deserving of spanking. So as a parent, I very rarely have to physically, discipline my children. Not that I'm against it, not that I, went out of my way. I just, growing up, that was what you knew. And then I realized then it just doesn't work for my kids, So I get some crap from people. "Hey, Black, how you don't beat your kids?" Well, it's not like I said I'm not going to beat my kids, It's just that's not what works for my family. It doesn't work for my kids. I'm not going to beat them just because, I got beat or whatever like that. So the rest of the video, the episode has come from the stuff that I did on stage. Like a lot of the stuff in fatherhood.
So, why are your bones so sweaty? Why are your legs like that? That's how I broke my G.I. Joe. Snap, his legs are broken. You can bring a rubber band. She needs a rubber band.
Kids walk in on you is absolutely coming from the true actions of my kids walking in on me and my wife in full ministry. They never said any of this stuff that they said in the video. I add that part, in my stand-up comedy, and and we added it in fatherhood. But I remember one time Isaiah had a Lightning McQueen, or not Lightning McQueen, the British agent from Cars, and it was a car that could turn into a boat. And me and my wife were mid-ministry, and he brought it in, didn't realize what was happening. It was dark. Asked me if I could turn it back into a car, and I did. Mid-ministry, handed it back to him, and he walked back out on the room. So there's been a couple scares, and there's been times where my kids have walked in, and I know other parents have dealt with, kids walking in on them. So I just wanted to make that a reality, because I know that I'm not the only one. Did you do this? What did you use to do this? You mean to tell me you scratched my wall up with your bare hands? Kids make dumb faces comes from the fact that when your kids know they're in trouble and they have no good reason for why, they just sit there and go. They just make the dumbest face and have no answer. And I know parents know what that is, and it's like almost infuriating. You would actually rather them say, I just did this because I wanted to, than to sit there and just have no good reason why. But they often just sit there with a dumb face. So I wrote about that because I was frustrated, and that's why you get to see it. Came from a YouTube video I did where I was just playing and I recorded it and I was just dunking on JoJo and stealing the ball from him. You know, I don't really play with my kids like that. I just, play fair and try to teach them how to play basketball. But I will dunk on them and I will block their shot and I will steal the ball and I am very competitive. And if it came down to like when they really learn how to play, I'm elbowing them down. Boom, boom. I'm doing it because I need to win. The fact of the matter is, I need to win, and I'll do everything possible to make that happen.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Okay. Why aren't you never waking mommy up?
Because you're our dad, and she needs time to rest.
Saturday morning suck is the truth. Saturday mornings suck, and my kids often, especially JoJo. This really is JoJo. It's not really Isaiah. Isaiah never wakes up before us on the weekend. JoJo often wakes up before us and he's like opening your eyes, especially when he was younger. When he was three, he used to come in my room and open my eyes and ask me for cereal. And me and my wife really, like it was an unspoken rule, whoever got up had to fix breakfast. So we would just sit there and pretend to be asleep and hope the other one would just eventually get up. Same thing happened when they were little babies and one of us had to get up and feed them. After Isaiah, we realized it's just best to take turns because it's unfair, but, and also the independence of children wanting to learn to pour their own milk and do stuff results in spilling stuff. So it happens, and it happened. So that's why I wrote this, because I know parents can, realize that there's some little growing pains with raising kids, and part of it is allowing them to pour their own milk or do whatever, and that can be driving or going to work. It's gonna just change as you age. Or as simple as not wanting to get up on a Saturday and you have to.
Daddy! Daddy!
I'm not your dad.
Then how come this is my brother?
Because he's my son, and you guys have the same mom, but I'm not your dad.
Not your dad was a running joke that me and my kids have, especially Zay. And that was the same way it's written in the story. This is the same way it happened. He would say, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. Or I'd say, I'm not your dad. And he would ask me clarifying questions. And I always ended up telling him why I was his dad. But, we just did this running joke for a long time. We don't really do it anymore, so that's why it's forever more, immortalized in video form. But, yeah, it's a running joke that me and him had that I'm not his dad because he looks a lot like my wife and JoJo looks like me. But rest assured, his feelings were not hurt in the process. And that's why I let him get revenge on me in the video.
Which one of you guys did that?
Not me. Not me. It was
Oh, you're so nasty. Kevin, come get your sons.
Which one of you guys did that?
not me. Not me. It's me.
It was you? That's my boy! Nice! You smell that? The difference between mom and dad was actually a video that I was gonna do for Awesomeness TV, and then I thought about it. This is the only fatherhood episode that's from the kid's point of view, so that's interesting because most of them are from the parents' point of view, but this one is from the kid's point of view. So thank you for listening to Behind the Story of Fatherhood. Make sure to share with a friend.